Good morning, guys. Hope you're doing great. Good to have you back today. So, today we're going to introduce a new topic in math, which is patterns. And last week we discussed about telling times, and I'm quite happy that most of you already know how to write tell the time in the hourly manner and also in the half hour. So yeah, you just keep on practicing the time. Whenever you see the clock, try to read the time on the clock. Okay, so today we're going to talk about patterns, and before we go into that, I would like to give a brief definition of what a pattern is. So what is a pattern? When you hear about patterns, what comes to your mind? Okay, I'm going to say a pattern is an arrangement. It's kind of an arrangement of lines or shapes or designs that are repeated at a regular interval or an irregular base. Okay, so a pattern is an arrangement. It has to be arranged in an orderly manner, and it also has to be repeated. So whatever you're putting, or whatever you're drawing, or whatever shapes you're putting together has to be in an orderly manner repeatedly. So whenever you see a design or a shape or an image or a line repeating itself in an orderly manner, it is called a pattern. So I'm gonna try give an example here with on this paper, for example. Okay, so I'm just gonna give an example of a normal pattern. I don't know if you're gonna really see, but I have a circle. Okay. So let me just give an example of my own patterns, and then I'm going to show you. So my first pattern goes like this: circle, 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 3 circles, and 1 triangle. And then I repeat again: circle, 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 1 triangle, circle, 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 1 triangle. Okay, so okay, there you go. So this is an example of my own pattern: circle, 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 triangle, and then you see again the circles repeating itself again: 1 2 3. So we have 1 2 3 circles, and it's repeating itself again here: 1 2 3 circles, and after the 3 circles you have 1 triangle. And again we have 1 2 3 circles, and after the 3 circles you have 1 triangle. So this is an example of a pattern because this design or these shapes keep on repeating themselves in an orderly manner. So if I want to continue this pattern, I have to draw again 1 2 3 circles and 1 triangle. So this is an example of a pattern. All right, now if I have, for example, something like this: circle, triangle, circle, 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 triangle, circle, triangle, triangle, circle, triangle, circle. Now this is another example. Okay, there you go. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, now this is an example. I have a circle, triangle, 1 circle, 1 triangle, 1 2 3 circles, 1 triangle, 1 circle, 2 triangles, 1 circle, 1 triangle. Now this is not a pattern because the designs are not repeating themselves in an orderly manner. All right, so this is not a pattern because here we have 1 circle and 1 triangle. Normally it is supposed to be 1 circle, 1 triangle, 1 circle, 1 triangle, but here you have 3 circles, which is already telling you that this is not a pattern. And then here you have 1 circle, 1 triangle, triangle again. So this is definitely not a pattern. So a pattern is an arrangement of designs or shapes or lines in an orderly manner, repeating themselves over and over again. So the first one is an example of a pattern, while this one is not a pattern. All right. So before we continue, I think with this my explanation, you're able to understand what a pattern is or what a pattern is not. Patterns can be made with different shapes, with different sizes, even with the colors, with images. You can make patterns with lots of designs, lot of drawings, lot of even numbers. You can make patterns with the numbers. You can make patterns with alphabets. All right. So long as the arrangement or the designs are being repeated in an orderly manner, you can make patterns with lots of objects and a lot of designs and all that. So before we continue with the book, I would like you to get your math notebook. Write today's date. Today is May Tuesday 12, 2020. Yeah, in your math notebook, get to a fresh page, write math, and you skip 2 lines and you write patterns. Write the date on top, not math. Write the date on top, skip 2 lines, and then you write pattern. Today's date is Tuesday, May 12, 2020. So you write the date and write patterns, and I want you to give me 5 examples of your own patterns. So you go, for example, number 1, and then you do your own pattern. Number 2, patterns. Number 3, your own patterns. 4 patterns, and the 5th one, patterns. Remember, I told you can make patterns with different things. It could be the numbers, it could be the alphabet, it could be colors, it could be boy and girl, it could be clothes you wear, like shirt, dress, shirt, dress. It could be flowers, different type of flowers. It could be animals. It could be lots of things. Just look around at home and try to figure out things that you can arrange in a pattern. Remember, we said that a pattern is an arrangement of a repeated design. So you have to arrange them in orderly, making sure that the designs keep on repeating themselves in an orderly manner. Understood? So when you get the work in the notebook done, and then you turn to the big book, page 98, and you write the date on top. Today is Tuesday, May 12, 2020. So you write the date on top of the book, page 98, and then let's quickly read the little information there, and then you continue with the exercises in the book. Okay, so the first point says identify the pattern of a group of things. So I've already told you how to identify a pattern in a group. If the pattern or if objects are repeatedly occurring at the same pace or the same pattern or the same arrangement, it is known as a pattern. So for you to be able to identify a pattern, you have to look properly at each object arranged in a line. Okay, you have to check properly, is this the same, is it repeating again after this one, is it the same after that? So that is how you can identify pattern in a group of things. And the second one is to continue a pattern by drawing or coloring. So that's why I gave you the work in your math notebook, for you to be able to create a pattern and continue on that level and extend your patterns. Okay, and I told you can also create a pattern with any given object of your choice. You can draw whatever object you see you're creating. You can just draw it down in the notebook and continue the pattern. And then we are going to also find patterns in the 100 charts. That is what we're going to do on Thursday. So having done that, let's go down to the exercise. It says put a check mark in the circle if each group of pictures follows a pattern. If it doesn't follow a pattern, you put a cross mark. So here you have different patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have number 1, ice cream cone, lollipop, lollipop, ice cream cone, lollipop, lollipop, ice cream cone, lollipop, lollipop. So if this is a pattern, you put a check mark. I don't want to do any of this for you because I really need you to think and be able to identify patterns on your own. So you're going to be doing this worksheet, this exercise all by yourself. Look at the designs, look at the object, look at the alphabets, look at whatever you have here, and try to figure out how the patterns are occurring, are reoccurring in the given line. If the pattern is not following an orderly manner, if the objects are not following an orderly manner, it is not a pattern. All right, so you do it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not all of them are patterns. Some are patterns, some are not patterns. So for the ones that are patterns, you put a check mark, and the ones that are not patterns, you put a cross mark. So this is the exercise you're going to do today, and then after that you turn to page 99. Also, it's equally patterns. So for page 99, you're going to be extending the patterns you find out in the arrangement. So here we have a rose flower, a tulip, a flower, a rose flower, a tulip, a rose flower. So what's next to flowers should be here. So you have to extend the patterns. Okay, just follow. The first one is a rose flower. You have 2 tulips. Rose flower, 2 tulips, rose flower. So what and what should come after? So that's the same way you go here. You have this egg, a red egg, 1 red egg, 1 blue egg, 2 red egg, 1 blue egg, 2 red egg, 1 blue egg. So what's 2 other objects should you draw here? So that's how you're going to just continue. Identify the way the pattern is going and complete the exercise. Like I said before, I don't want to do it for you because I really need you to think and identify how the patterns are extending and how you can identify patterns in an arrangement. All right, and then when you're done with that, it says cross out one picture in each group so that the pictures follow a pattern. So here you have a pattern, but one picture is really making the pattern disorganized. So you have to figure out that picture and cross it out. So for example, you have two sunflowers, one pink tulip, two sunflowers, one pink tulip. So here you have 1, 2, 3 sunflowers. So here there is something wrong because it is making this pattern look kind of disorganized. So you have to cross out one sunflower here so that the pattern remains in an orderly manner, 2 sunflowers. So that's the same way you're going to figure out the next one and the last one. All right, so that is it for it today about patterns. When you're done with your work, please take a picture of your work and send it to me. And as usual, if you still don't understand, if you need me to explain more to you, just send me a voice note and I will explain better to you. All right, okay guys, see you soon. Bye.